Join us on the Ari'ze Women Network, where our special guests will be speaking about economics, gentrification, colorism, film reviews, health and wellness, reparations, celebrity news, and entrepreneurship. Thank you, and be sure to tune in. Well, hello, good afternoon, good afternoon. This is Queen F of Ari'ze Women Network, and we have some breaking news. We're going to wait a few minutes for a few of you guys to pile on in because we got a lot to talk about today. Yeah. There's some shenanigans going on in the news. It ain't got nothing to do with the news, but it has everything to do with Mississippi, Jackson, Mississippi, which is a town that my mom is from. Our family has roots in Mississippi. My dad is from Mississippi, so we got history all up in there, baby. And this is why this news story is so important to me today. It touched my soul, and you know what? I'm going in, baby. I'm going in. I'm not holding back because we got some crazy stuff that's happening and it shouldn't go down and it's not going to go down. Somebody finna be held accountable. Okay. We've got the water crisis in Mississippi. We've got the Hall of Famer, Brett Favre, allegedly caught up in a Mississippi welfare scheme. Allegedly. But yeah, there's some text messages that came forth. So we're just going to use that word loosely because the cat's out the bag. Has a lot to do with the governor, the former governor of Mississippi. Yeah, not the present governor, but the former governor of Mississippi. A volleyball stadium that was miraculously built off the backs of the poorest country in America, Mississippi, allegedly. I ain't gonna say off the backs, but y'all get what I mean. If you've been watching the news, you know exactly what's going on. If you don't know, you will know after this live stream. Yep. Baby, I'm finna tell a whole nother booty hole. You thought you had your little injuries on that field, baby queen. Now finna go in. Mr. Fair, what are we doing? And I'll use that title, Mr. Loosely. Okay, because what I'm hearing is totally unbelievable. I'm like, I just know he didn't. So this Hall of Famer, Brett Favre's being caught up in some kind of volleyball stadium welfare money being used, shenanigans. What the hell are we doing? What's really going on? The Lord is soon to come. You gotta laugh so you won't cry. But baby, ain't nothing funny about this, baby, because if I got a call on Ben Crump, the notorious lawyer who always gets the right judgments, there need to be some lawsuits flying, baby. There need to be some class action lawsuits. It can go way back when. I don't know when this young man started playing with the NFL, but maybe all the money you made and you robbed from the poorest country, city in America. What are we doing? What really are we doing? I'm going to wait for the people to come on in and I'm going to play a couple of videos that you guys need to see. It's all over the internet. It's all over social media. I'm not the only one. So if y'all want to come after somebody, don't come after Ari'ze Network. We're not the only one talking about it. Brett Fair and the governor of Mississippi dig their little sneaky hands into the welfare pothole welfare pot of money, allegedly. And see, this is all allegedly, but yeah, there's messages that came out. But we're going to go all the way back to 1986. Let's see. We're going to go back to when Clinton, the then president, Bill Clinton, decided that, and I just found this out. I even worked for an organization where um, we transition women and children and people off of welfare into working. So that was one of the first offsprings of cities that did this in Chicago. I was one of the program managers, assistants, but I had no idea really what was going on. I just knew it was a pretty good idea. You know, nobody wanted to be on welfare all their lives. So, okay, so then Clinton decided that he would change welfare to TANF, which is temporary assistance for needy families, transition people off from, welfare system to working. Cool, fine. But in that transition, people of the each individual states were able to allocate and use this money wherever they wanted to. As long as it wasn't to build any type of bricks and mortar. And this is from a news cycle that I get from Crystal Ball, who's formerly of MSNBC. We're going to go to her and she's going to explain exactly what happened, back in 1986 and how we got to this point of where some little sticky hands being going in a pot of the welfare and denying welfare recipients money, parents and mothers of poor families that needed welfare for their kids were denied help. Lord, I tell you, that's why, baby. That's why you see what you see what's going on in the news, honey. In the universe. The universe is speaking back to us. And I had to come from a universal standpoint because I don't look at things no longer through rose-colored glasses like I used to. When I was younger, I thought everybody had a good heart and we gave everybody a chance and this and that. But now the third eye is open. I even received a lot of dreams and still get those dreams. They're not as frequent. But for the past couple of years, I've been dreaming of like typhoons coming, water flowing from the sea, the ocean, and just landing a landfill on the cities and the beaches, and it just flowing over. And it freaked me out. Some mornings I would wake up, in a cold sweat or, really upset. I'm like, why do I keep dreaming about all this water everywhere? A few times I was running, trying to get past, run forward from the water. And usually I would, and sometimes I actually submerged in the water, then I rose to the top. And someone told me to decipher my dream and said that was just symbolic of me being in the storm and rising above the storm. And baby, I have been in a storm ever since my kids were young, honey. I was one of those who needed welfare. Yeah, because I had a set of twin sons. I was a single parent. I was homeless, and I got a lot of help, help from my mother, and then eventually had to go into a shelter, had to get on welfare, had to stop working. I did all that, the whole 9 yards. I went from that to, working from corporate America to being on welfare, so I know what it was like. But to be denied welfare to the poorest country, most of the recipients I told, Mississippi has, I don't know how many thousands of citizens there, but during the time when they had the Clinton TANF transition, I don't know how many were denied, but there's record that recently only 1,600 people got approved for welfare back then. And this is from Crystal Ball's paperwork that she, found or whatever. I guess she did the research. And I'm gonna play her show. It's called breakingpoints.com. She's formerly of MSNBC, Crystal Ball, and she's a very good newscaster. Yeah, I'm glad that she covered the story about Jackson, Mississippi, because the Jackson, Mississippi water crisis, as you can see from the thumbnail, people had to be called in. The I won't say Coast Guards, the National Guards had to be called in to help bring water cases and cases of water in to help the citizens who were without water because the water crisis, the main line had broke in Mississippi, and I'm told it didn't just happen recently, that they've been experiencing the water problems for years. And I think this goes back to people taking money and not using it where it should be and hoping that the infrastructure is going to hold up. We all know that Jackson, Mississippi is right on, the Mississippi River. Okay, we know that. We know that a lot of these towns are built on top of rivers and oceans. So, okay. And word is, and this is just something I recently found out, that actually the Mississippi River is the Nile, you know, the Red Sea, all of that. It's all connected. It's just that the world has been split up, you know, in different graphics and stuff, but originally the Mississippi River is the River Nile, you know. I believe it's all connected. Like they say, you can go to Africa in a few hours instead of 20 hours, like they're saying. It's closer than what you think. So that's a whole nother subject. Another video. We're going to go. I'm going to share the screen and I'm going to show you what Miss Crystal Ball is talking about, because she really knows her stuff, honey. She knows her stuff. We're going to talk about this water crisis. Why is it these people were without water? And if Mr. Brett Fair is worth hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars or whatever, and this is his home state, why didn't he give them any help? Oh, let's go back to when he wanted to build a stadium for his daughter, volleyball stadium. Let's go to that. Yeah. Because Mississippi is one of the poorest cities in America. And lo and behold, why on earth would you do this to the poorest city, the most vulnerable people, and take from them? Muddy waters. They said they love muddy waters. Where do you think that title came from, that name that he thought of? His name is not Muddy Waters, it's McKinley Morganfield, but Muddy Water is a symbolic of Mississippi water. Muddy. Many blues artists came from Mississippi. Many blues artists gave to the culture. And it's very influential in the music that you hear today. But we're the treated the worst. Mostly why I'm doing this live stream is that my mom is from Mississippi. Like I said, we have roots in Mississippi. So this hurts my soul when I saw those people standing in line for water. It's like we're a third world country. The water crisis, brown water coming from the faucets. Okay, fast forward, the water crisis is no longer under a boil advisory. The residents are able to go to their sink and, run the water. But they're saying it's not 100% fixed, but at least they don't have to shower with their nose closed. Like one of the governors or mayors said, oh, just don't open your mouth while you're taking a shower. Just how inhumane can you be, baby? The richest country in the world, you're telling the citizens to close their mouth when they take a shower because of the water crisis. And this went on and on and on. People, social media, they talked about it, but mainstream media, they touched on it about it. But how many people gave to Jackson, Mississippi? Well, I think a few people did give, and I was about to put together something with Ari'ze Network where we could put some money together and send them to get bottled water. But thank God that the National Guard came in, so there was some kind of help from FEMA, and that was a good thing. So that was great, wonderful. So now the Copyright Act of 1976, Section 107, fair use is used for research, commentary, education, criticism, education. Fair use is permitted and not intended to infringe on, such as commentary. We're going to talk about, I'm going to show you a couple of videos. We're going to talk in between the videos. Give me your likes, your opinions. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, because with all the censorship and the way that YouTube, they'll push your video down if you're not getting a lot of likes. You'll be all the way down in the mainstream and nobody will really see you. So it's like, what the hell? What's the purpose? But now, we're going to do this. Let's do this, y'all. Let's get the word out. There needs to be some repercussions for what happened with Mississippi, with the water crisis, and with what happened with the money that was taken from the welfare of recipients that went to the volleyball stadium of NFL Hall of Famer Brett Favre, allegedly, besides the text messages. Lordy, Lordy, the Lord is soon to come. Now, give me your thoughts and likes, share the video. Here we go. I'm going to share the screen now so that you guys can see what the heck I'm talking about, baby. What is Queen Nap talking about? Well, here's a water crisis here, for one thing. We'll see this. We've got people waiting in line. There's the National Guard. They helped out. There they are right there. We got citizens, I'm sure, helping. And there was one young lady who said she bought, like, every week she would go buy water. So like $100 worth of cases of water. So in the future, please, you guys, anybody, any city, don't hoard the water, because when a crisis like this comes and then there's not enough water to go around. But yeah, we can see that, this looks like back in the 70s, how the sinks look. What is that? Okay, so like I say, well, this is saying the racism seen as root water crisis in Mississippi capital, because Jackson, Mississippi is almost like, I think 80% or 70% blacks, African Americans. And so those recipients that were approved for the welfare, I'm wondering, who were they? And why were the other ones weren't approved? So this is the Mississippi water crisis. This is horrible. It's been restored, but we still need people to be held accountable. Why is that infrastructure broken? Why is that still the poorest city in America? What are we doing here? So now we're gonna share the screen for this young lady, Crystal Ball, formerly of MSNBC, and she's gonna kind of explain. She does a great job explaining what the hell happened with the Brett Favre, governor of Mississippi. What's really going on? Yeah, let's find out. Here we go.
Crystal, what are you taking a look at?
I can hardly believe the story that I'm about to tell you. So the TLDR is this. New text messages reveal how the former governor of Mississippi plotted to steal millions from the poor in order to build a fancy volleyball stadium for Brett Favre's daughter. That is not an exaggeration. That is literally what is alleged to have happened. And it is backed up now by newly revealed text messages and court filings. And to make matters worse, the current governor is trying to cover up the truth. What I am about to tell you is so outrageous, corrupt, and disgusting that I can scarcely wrap my head around it. It is the most perfect example of socialism for the rich, rugged individualism for the poor that I have ever seen. So, in the nation's poorest state, the welfare fund was plundered to give goodies to a rich NFL superstar, political elites, and their cronies. Buckle your seatbelts, folks. First, though, we got to start way back in the Clinton administration.
So this is what I was talking about as far as Clinton's, back. I think it was what late 80s where they started the Tanner program. Yeah, temporary assistance for needy families. Yeah, he actually ended the welfare, and I didn't know that. I don't know. I guess it went over my head, even working for that organization. So people that we're voting in, we better be aware of what their agenda is. Okay, because there were people that actually needed that program who couldn't work. So what did they do? But okay, we're going to continue this video with Crystal's breaking points.
Bill Clinton decided to do what no Republican could have accomplished and to end welfare as we know it. He eliminated the previous welfare program in favor of something called TANF, Temporary Assistance for Needy Families. Now, unlike the New Deal welfare program, TANF was what's called a block grant. States get a certain amount of funding and with some legal limitations can do with it whatever they want. And in southern states like Mississippi, frequently they did not actually want to give the money to the poor families who really needed it. Mississippi as a state is the most cruel to its struggling residents. In 1 year, according to a Jackson Free Press investigation, of the 12,000 Mississippi residents who applied for TANF, a mere 165 were actually awarded any benefits. Many residents who technically qualify for assistance have given up trying to actually obtain benefits because the process is so dehumanizing and the odds of success are so small. Essentially, in Mississippi, a state with record child poverty, welfare does not exist, at least not for the poor.
Wait. Did she just say welfare doesn't exist in Mississippi? The poorest city in America? See what I'm saying? What the hell? What are we doing? Okay, we got third world countries that are living better than the state of Mississippi. And like I say, this is close to home. Okay, this is why a lot of the Great Migration occurred. Why a lot of Mississippians who were black migrated to Chicago, New York, Louisiana, the major big cities, because they were fed up of walking down the country roads with their shoes flapping. My mom personally said she had to go to school with, her shoes flapping. They were so poor. This is why it's hard for me to finish this documentary about my mom. It's a lot of pain there. You know what? It's a lot of pain. But anyway, I'm going to finish it and we're going to continue with the story. But people have no idea what the backstory of people's lives are and what they've been through. But we're going to continue and find and follow this rabbit hole here. Let's continue.
Poor, but someone was getting all that money. And a multi-year investigation has revealed the way that government officials and their cronies fed like pigs at the trough off of that money that was intended to go to help the poor. A single politically connected charter school operator, Nancy New, she is at the center of this fraud. Now, New is a major GOP donor. She's given thousands to the current governor of the state of Mississippi, that is Tate Reeves. Reeves actually filmed a campaign spot at one of her charter schools. She was also close friends with the wife of the former governor, Phil Bryant. Bryant was governor of the state while welfare funds were being pilfered by the millions to benefit Nancy New, among others. So over the length of the scheme, Nancy New and her son Zach netted more than $136 million in state funds. State auditors say that 77 million of those funds were actually misspent for illegal purposes, often to personally benefit themselves and their allies. They were two of the 6 individuals who have been indicted as part of the scheme and are personally accused of pocketing at least $4 million in state funds to their own bank accounts. The vast majority of this cash came directly from welfare funds, again, intended for the state's poor residents. But Nancy New and her son are now cooperating with authorities as part of a plea deal, and that is where Brett Favre comes into the picture. So Favre's daughter apparently plays volleyball at the University of Southern Mississippi. That's the same school where he played football. And Daddy apparently wanted to buy his baby a fancy new stadium. Rather than ponying up the bucks himself, something that given his extraordinary wealth he could surely do, he decided to collaborate with Nancy New to try to secure the millions necessary from the state and his personal friend, Governor Bryant. As with their other schemes, the News sought millions for Favre from the federal welfare funds that they had long treated as their personal slush fund.
Okay, now let's stop right there. Okay, during Brett Favre's sports career, He earned close to $138 million. $138 million. That's not including endorsements, TV commercials, and little things. You can go to his the Bing.com and you can see the pictures that he took that are worth thousands of dollars that he signed, pictures that he signed. That's not including all of that. His sports career, he earned close to $138 million. But you want to dig your little grimy hands in a Mississippi welfare pot? Are you kidding? Get the fuck out of here. Anyway, let's continue. Excuse my language.
It wasn't just the stadium, though. Favre was personally paid $1.1 million to deliver speeches that he never actually delivered. He also benefited from millions in investments. The news made to a medical technology company in which Favre was the lead outside investor. Governor Bryant helped out with that company too. During his time in office, he helped the Favre-connected company to clear regulatory hurdles and to find new investors. And once Bryant left office, guess what? He's given a fat package of stock in that company as gratitude for his help. How nice. Now, I should pause here to say Governor Bryant and Brett Favre both deny wrongdoing. Favre says he had no idea the money was coming from welfare funds. He has paid back the no-show speech money, though not the interest on the money, which he does also owe. Governor Bryant says he was not involved in the illegal company investments that the news are now facing charges of bribery, racketeering, and embezzlement in connection with. He also says he was not closely involved in the volleyball stadium scheme. However, newly revealed text messages say otherwise. In a new court filing reported on by Mississippi Today, text messages between New, Favre, and Bryant show a deep level of coordination on the $5 million stadium project. Here is the lead of that story. They say, quote, text messages entered Monday into the state's ongoing civil lawsuit over the welfare scandal reveal that former Governor Phil Bryant pushed to make NFL legend Brett Favre's volleyball idea a reality. The texts show that the then governor even guided Favre on how to write a funding proposal so that it could be accepted by the Mississippi Department of Human Services. Quote, just left Brett Favre, Bryant texted nonprofit founder Nancy New in July of 2019. Can we help him with his project? We should meet soon to see how I can make sure we keep your projects on course. Additional texts show Bryant coaching Favre and New on how their fraudulent volleyball proposal might pass muster to receive welfare funds from the federal block grant, giving direction about the specific type of details they would need for it to be approved, as the federal government strictly prohibits welfare funds from being used for brick and mortar projects, like, for example, a volleyball stadium.
So, in other words, there's two counts against him. I mean, you use the money. Let's say that he got the $5 million and he used it to, maybe teach midnight football for the young at-risk kids or something like that. Spend time with them, take them to Six Flags, take them on trips, do little camping, scouting trips or something like that. Oh no, you use it to build a volleyball stadium for your daughter? And by the way, this is a state that Brett Favre is from. He's from Mississippi. This is what's so ironic. This is your hometown, and you're treated like trash? Oh, maybe it's like Paul Mooney said, get the right complexion for the protection. Let's see where all this goes. Because if this is a nothing burger, baby, I'm telling you now, somebody better be some lawsuits flying, because this is not right. This is wrong, wrong, wrong. How can people go to sleep and then wake up and look at themselves in the mirror after doing something like this? Wrong, wrong, wrong. Let's continue.
In other texts, Favre is also seemingly concerned about the media finding out that he is getting paid out of these welfare funds. In one text, he writes to New, quote, if you were to pay me, is there any way the media can find out where it came from and how much? Well, it took a while, but the media did find out. And part of the reason it took so long is because of an apparent cover-up by the current governor of Mississippi. That would be Tate Reeves. There are signs that the current administration is attempting to protect the former governor and Favre. An attorney who was originally representing the state's welfare department in a civil suit to reclaim the stolen dollars was abruptly fired by current Governor Tate Reeves after that attorney subpoenaed the former governor's communications, including text messages related to the volleyball project. That attorney believes that his firing was politically motivated, and lo and behold, that civil investigation has appeared to slow since he was abruptly dismissed. Reeves has never been able to muster a direct answer about the real reason that he fired the attorney. What's more, even though the $5 million stadium expenditure was the single largest fraudulent expenditure, it has, for some reason, been omitted from the civil lawsuit seeking to reclaim some of the stolen dollars. Now, Reeves says his office used an objective process to determine which expenditures they would seek to claw back, but he has given no specifics about why Favre's volleyball stadium, greenlit by the former governor per these text messages, did not make the cut. Elites protecting their little club. Now, I might remind you that this is the same state and some of the same political players who have not been able to find sufficient funds to pay for residents of Jackson, the capital city, to have drinkable water. So, millions for a volleyball stadium, salaries, investments in well-connected companies, and no-show speech contracts for a rich NFL star. And this is what is coming out of the faucets of their residents.
And now, see, this is where, you know what? This is where you when you think about I don't know, a lot of people are not into the Bible, whatever, or they're misguided. Baby, that's the word. And the word says, they say that, you know, a rich man getting into heaven is like putting a camel through the needle. Try to put a camel through a needle. Not that all rich people are bad or have bad hearts or whatever, or are trifling. No, that's not it. It's just that sometimes people worship their money. The only reason why I feel like this man did this is for greed. And then for him to sit there and see these people with running water like this, has anybody seen Brett Fair in the news come forward to say, hey, let me give $1 million to Jackson, Mississippi? Hey, let me send some cases of water to Jackson, Mississippi? Oh, did I miss that news cycle? If you know of a news cycle where Brett Fair, NFL Hall of Famer, who just got built a stadium for his daughter with welfare fraud money, at least with any conscience did he come forth with the water crisis that recently occurred, as we can see, and got on the news and said something like, oh, that's a shame. Hey, let me help out. This is my home state. My daughter has a volleyball stadium there. Let me give a couple of $1 million to help out. I haven't seen not one news cycle. That's why they going to get that ass, baby. They going to get that ass. That's what I'm claiming. The ancestors is here. Ancestors is tearing up this bitch, and this is why. This is only one news story. How many other news stories are going under the radar of people that are taking advantage of the poor that we don't know about? How many? And do you think that some of these people that young black African Americans or Africans that were on those slave boats that jumped over, that said, hell no, I'm not going over to this promised land that you're talking about and work slaves for you, and you divided me from my family? How many fell overboard intentionally? How many how many souls are down there crying out? Why are there typhoons coming all of a sudden? All over the place. Japan, Taiwan, typhoons, water flowing everywhere. Ancestors is here, baby. And they finna tear this bitch up. Okay, let's continue. I'm gonna be nice.
It is sickening beyond words. These people who have the nerve to rail against entitlements and welfare queens, all of that, they are the most disgusting grifters of all. Reverse Robin Hoods, robbing from the poor to pay the rich. And it just so happens that they are the rich. This story went so deep. It is my belief that the cable news is ripping us apart, dividing the country, making it impossible to function as a society, and making it impossible to know just what is true and what is false. But the good news is they are failing and they know it.
That is why we're building something new, a new mainstream, a healthier one, something more trustworthy, something that we are going to need in one of the most pivotal times in American history. We are building up here for the midterms, for the upcoming presidential election, but we need
All
your help.
right, we
So
can
if you can
wrap
help
it
us
up
out by
here.
becoming a premium member today at breakingpoints.com, we're trying to change America for the better and the entire world.
So what are you waiting for, guys? Go to breakingpoints.com and sign up and help us build a new mainstream.
Okay. Now I just wanted to make sure that we got that in because yeah, I'm giving her credit as far as and please, this is only to, this is excuse me, this is only to give you guys more background. She could explain it better what happened, what's happening. And please go to her breakingpoints.com because like they're saying they're censoring us on FB, they're censoring us on YT. They're censoring because a lot of these corporations are being paid by these people, the rich people. Just like now, I don't see anybody in my live screen. That's fine. You can look at it later on the repeat, play it later when you get off work or when you put the babies to bed, decide to get you a little late night snack. Play the video through, like and share the video. Okay, because I'm telling you now, the censoring is real, but the news is out. Okay, you can't really hide what's going on because the ancestors are pulling the information through social media, through the waves, through the G's and ain't gonna say the word because they'll censor me on that. The five gangsters. What you think is working against you is really working for you. Even with the C-19, that actually worked for us. There was less people driving on the roads, less pollution. People were able to stay home with their kids and kind of monitor them. Uh, probably less deaths that happened because ever since that we've been out and about, there's more crime, there's more going on, and people just really acting weird. So for the fair use, for the research, this is that video was not played to be infringed on. I get no money for this video, but baby, we got to make sure that this man gets held accountable. Him and the governor, Brett Fair. I believe they should strip him of his title of Hall of Famer. How is it you gross close to $138 million over your sports career, but you don't want to pay for a volleyball stadium for your daughter? What was it, $5 million that you took from the welfare system? What the hell? That's plain old evil. It's evil and greed. It shows that you don't care about the citizens of your own hometown. Was it the color of their skin? Because you think because they're on welfare, they begging for money. You left us with nothing. Who was that saying, oh, tie up your bootstraps. Give me the shoestrings and I'll tie them up. You didn't leave these people even with shoestrings. That's why my parents migrated up here from the south to the north. There was nothing left for them there. There was nothing. There was no jobs. A lot of blues artists, you can look at the blues documentary and they'll be talking about how there was in Mississippi. How as sharecroppers, they worked and toiled the land. This is after slavery. And then at the end of the year, when they're supposed to get paid from the sharecropper lead man, white guy or whatever, he was, oh, well, you know what? You almost made the cut. We didn't make no money. So then the next year you work for a whole year, sharecropping, picking cotton, hauling hulls, cattles, whatever. But at the end of the pay period, at the end of the year when you're supposed to get paid, oh, we didn't make it this time. I think that was Candy Staten, one of the blues artists, had talk about it, but they won't show that video. They'll hide it. You have to search for it. It's on the Rise Woman Network, and like Miss Crystal Ball was saying on Breaking Points, they're trying to They want you to go to their network and log on and become a member, because I'm gonna tell you now, they're gonna censorship is gonna get worse. I'm ahead of y'all, baby. I got a Rise Women Network. I have my own website. Hit www.arisewomennetwork.com. Go and subscribe. It's just like having a YouTube channel. I have YouTube videos on there, positive affirmations, their Rise store. I got my own stuff, so I ain't worried about it. If they want to cut me off, censor me, so what? It's time to speak up and quit being scared. Oh, we better not talk about that. Oh, master, don't better not talk about that. We might well be back in the slavery days, and we ain't gonna talk about what needs to be talked about. And we're not gonna call these people on their BS, whether they rich or not. Fuck that you was a Hall of Famer. You screwed people out of their own little money that they needed just to feed their kids, to feed their family. The poorest city in America. Go eat crow, motherfucker. That's the way I feel. Eat crow and pay the people. Ben Crump, please step forward and get this class action suit going. It needs to be done. And he needs to be held accountable. Brett Fair, you need to be held accountable. Because you're lower than the lowest that would take from poor people. And then when they had the water crisis a couple of weeks ago, I didn't see you giving anything. I didn't see him getting on the news and saying anything. And he need to burn that doggone stadium down for us, I'm concerned. Lordy, 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 the Lord is soon to come. Let me get off of here, I tell you, because it ain't no joke, baby. It's real out here. But we talking about real things over here on the Rise Women Network. We have a Rise breaking news. You have any breaking news you want us to share, hit us up, arisewomennetwork.com. If you want to support the network, go cash app us at Queen Up Arise, the number 3, $ Queen Up Arise, number 3. Arise is derived from the Maya Angelou, and still I rise. Yeah, because you know what? Like she said, you may write me down in your history books with bitter, twisted lies, but still, like dust, I rise, I rise, I arise, and we will rise. We ain't gonna let nothing hold us down, baby. We like baby's kids. They say, we don't die, we multiply. There's a lot of truth in humor, I tell you. There's a lot of truth in like people like Richard Pryor, that told jokes. Sure, he used the N-word a lot, but a lot of things he talked about was true. Paul Mooney, whatever past rumors that came up about him, let's talk about Paul Mooney, the truth that he was telling in a lot of his comedy. He said, you got the right complexion for the protection. What did he mean by that, y'all? Think about it. And let's think about what's going to happen to Brett Fair. Is he going to be held accountable? Has he been stripped of anything? Well, they took Bill Cosby's, what do you call his trophies or whatever from the HBCUs. They took down his pictures and they didn't give any of the money back that he donated. But R. Kelly, they talk about him. Okay, he's doing his time, 30 years. But my goodness, did he kill anybody? There are a lot of people that going under the radar that have did dirt. Really did dirt to people. Black people especially. We've been done so bad. It's so much pain, baby. It's so much pain. Y'all just don't know. It's not just in the past, it's in the present. Look at it now. Mississippi. America was born off of Mississippi. The cotton industry. Sugar canes. All from Mississippi. Mississippi was a dirt poor country before the cotton picking and the slaves and all that. Built the White House. I learned that from Paul Mooney. Slaves built the White House. Ooh. Did they get paid for it? Did our ancestors get paid for it? Slavery? Nope. Did we get any reparations? Nope. So I tell you, the ugliness is abound, but the ancestors, they see it, baby. And she tearing the bitch up. Mother Nature is here. Mother Nature don't like you tearing up her environment, killing all the lions and animals and giving people the GMOs and, you know, just killing people, you know. So, yeah, it's all coming to pass, baby. It's all coming to pass. My dreams have come true. I'm seeing water everywhere. And it's going to get worse. You know, this world is wrapping itself up. So, I'm going to ask that you keep praying. Don't lose your faith now. Because it's a reason why we all made it. How in the world did our foreparents make it from slavery? And we're here now, and we're NFL athletes, we're professors, we're doctors, we're social media mavens and actresses, and Viola Davis. She just did a movie that they're heralding the Women King. Then we got people talking about boycott the Women King. Y'all better watch these movies. These movies are telling you the past and the future. They're giving you indications. Matriarch, Mother Nature, Maya, power, baby. She ain't going nowhere. Mother Nature's still here. The bride is coming for her church. So don't lose faith, Don't be no fool now. I ain't turning no other cheek. I ain't doing that. You slap me, I'm fucking you up. I'm sorry, forgive my language. I know they gonna probably ban this video. So look at it and share it. And I'm gonna download it before they do, baby. I'm not gonna do some of that stuff that, they trying to claim we should do. Oh, just wait till you get to heaven. No, I'm gonna talk about y'all now. I'm gonna get y'all hell now. It's a mess, baby. It's a whole mess down here. But you know what? Don't lose the faith. People are struggling. There's a lot going on in the world. Crime. Be safe out there. Watch your back. Protect your family. Protect your home. Grow you some natural fruits and vegetables if you can. Get your health in order, your mental health, arise in consciousness, arise in spirit. I, woman, I rise. Continue to arise. Yeah. Give to the network if you can. If you can, just support by liking and subscribing to Ari'ze Women Network. And I'm going to get on off of here. So that's the breaking news. And I thank y'all for listening. And be sure to like, subscribe the channel. And stay positive regardless. Pray that all untruths will be uncovered. Everything needs to be revealed. We're in a stage of revelations. Revelations is revealing. It's revealing what's going on in the world. Revealing those who we thought were okay. Be careful of your words. Be careful of your words. I really don't like the word that Rogers is using, saying he owns the Bears, for instance. I'm a sports fanatic. I like sports. But y'all finna take my appetite away, okay? With this Brett Fair thing and I own the Bears. That sound like too much back in the day. I own shit. Now you don't own shit here, baby. These are God's people running around on them fields. Those are kings and queens running around on those football fields. And you better respect them. Respect their family and their people. Respect the people of Jackson, Mississippi. Mississippi is where this country was built off the backs of how the industry was abound. We became number one on Wall Street. Okay, so with that, I'm gonna close, and y'all keep liking and subscribing. We got a documentary coming up, Out of the Ashes. I'm gonna finish my mom's documentary, Greenwood. It's gonna be painful, but I'm gonna finish it. But please like, subscribe, go to Ari'zeWomanNetwork.com and join the network, because we have our own space over there in case they decide to do whatever they do. With the social media, we have our own little space over there. And visit the Ari'ze store, get you some shea butter for the winter before it gets cold out there for them babies. Wipe their faces down. When they go out there in that cold and snow, they'll be warm and silky and smooth. So y'all be blessed and thank you for listening and just support the network. Queen F $sign Arise number 3. And thank you for listening and be blessed. Back in the 70s, and